Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today we're going to talk about add-ons, and more specifically 13 must-have add-ons if you're a retail player planning on playing Burning Crusade Classic or Classic WoW. And yeah, I'm going to show you some cool add-ons that are definitely going to enhance your gameplay experience and make it a little bit more what you're used to in retail. But before we get into that, guys, I just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming the Burning Crusade Classic Beta or the 9.1 PTR, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yeah, Classic WoW, Burning Crusade Classic. This is a video I've wanted to make for a long time, and with the release date of June 1st coming up and the pre-patch date of May 18th, which is next week, I think it's a good time to make it. And I've been playing Classic WoW since the beginning, and kind of just building up a repertoire of add-ons that I think are super helpful as a retail player coming over to Classic, just to make that transition a little bit easier and kind of make some of the more annoying things less annoying. So this is a list of 13. There is obviously more out there, but yeah, in no particular order. We're just going to kind of go through these and see what you think. And obviously, if you do have any other suggestions that I don't list, absolutely put them in the comment section below. That'd be super helpful for anyone wanting to try out Burning Crusade Classic very soon. So, ladies and gents, let's start with the first one. BFA UI. Yeah, you've probably noticed that this is actually not the classic UI. The classic UI, as you know, is just kind of long and goes down the bottom there. This is actually the Battle for Azeroth version of it. So in Battle for Azeroth, they made the bars a little bit more compact. This works for me quite nicely because I stream, so I have the camera kind of in this bottom left corner here. This is extendable just like it is in retail, so you can extend that out down to the bottom there, as you can see. I don't really like the look of that, so I do like to keep it nice and compact, and I think it works really well for me. Now, this has all the functionality that you'd imagine. Obviously, the bag's kind of working as intended there with the extra keyring there. You see, you obviously don't have that in retail, so they've added that on at the end there. This add-on specifically is a bit of a weird one. It was developed back in Legion after BlizzCon, after they announced Battle for Azeroth, and they kind of remade that UI, and essentially it's not really on any mainstream add-on websites, so I just kind of have a version that I've been tweaking personally since the beginning of Classic, and obviously now in Burning Crusade Classic. I have a Dropbox link to the one I use below, but if someone does develop one for like CurseForge or whatever, I'll obviously change the link as and when that happens. So do let me know if you are an add-on developer and you do end up making something like this, because I think there is a good market for it, and I really do like the new kind of compact UI of Battle for Azeroth. So the next add-on we're going to talk about is AtlasLoot. Of course, you probably already know all about AtlasLoot. AtlasLoot is back for Burning Crusade Classic with all of the Burning Crusade dungeons. They've actually got this cool little button here that you can press, and it actually switches over to Burning Crusade from Classic WoW. So, I mean, the functionality is essentially the same as the Dungeon Journal. This was the Dungeon Journal before the Dungeon Journal. So you have, like, you know, you have your dungeon, so you have Zul'Farrak, for example, and you can just look at the different bosses here on the left-hand side and see some of the loot that does drop from these bosses. So, super helpful add-on. It even has things like collections, so if you want to look at what Tier 6 looks like, for example, you can just jump over there and kind of look at the stats and the appearance of Tier 6, which I think is super great, honestly. And faction rewards. I mean, it has a ton of functionality. Like, you can literally look at the rewards from the Aldor, you can look at the rewards from the, you know, Scale of the Sands, and you can switch back over to Classic WoW as well and take a look at some of those rewards from Classics. PvP gear as well, crafting, all of it. This is such a great add-on. AtlasLoot, as I said, you probably already know about it, but a must-have add-on for sure for retail players coming over to Classic. Another absolutely incredible add-on, which I do use in retail and does have a classic version, is Leatrix Plus. This add-on is so powerful, ladies and gents. It is absolutely incredible. I absolutely recommend that you get it. So let's kind of go through some of the functionality that I use personally. So you've got automated quests, so essentially it'll pick up quests automatically. You can sell automatically, you can repair automatically as soon as you go to a vendor. You can automatically accept summons. I think some of the best stuff this add-on does is the interface stuff. So you can enhance the minimap, you can enhance the tooltip, you can enhance the dress-up. I think the dress-up one's great. You can actually like take off your tabard or go completely nude. I think that's a really cool addition there. The quest log is super great as well, so if you want to have like an extended quest log, which will show the quest details and the quests that you're actually on right now. The default one doesn't do that, so this is just like a nice big UI for you to be able to see like the quests you're on, and of course the quest objective there. Some of the other things is professions, so this actually extends the profession window into more of a retail-like thing. So as you can see, the things you can create are on the left-hand side, and obviously the kind of reagents and stuff are on the right, just like in retail. And obviously in Classic, that is a little bit more minimized and a little bit harder to see. So I think this option is absolutely incredible. The next one is trainers as well. So trainers, same sort of thing. You can see the things that you're learning on the left and of course the kind of information on the right hand side, just like in retail. So I think that's honestly just amazing. You've also got the option to do bag searching, which is something from retail as well, so you can see that it kind of works exactly the same, which I think is absolutely amazing. Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff here, really, like max camera zoom, vendor prices, which is another thing which isn't there by default. You can add the vendor price to items. You can do like easy dismounting, faster auto loot, like yeah, it's an endless add-on, honestly. We'll be here all day. I could make an entire video just talking about Leatrix Plus. Definitely a must-have add-on for anyone wanting to come over to Burning Crusade or Classic. The next add-on I use is TomCats Tours. Now, this is a pretty simple one, but will have some future functionality, which is going to be incredible. Now, TomCat's a good friend of mine, a very good add-on developer. You probably know him from some of his retail add-ons that he does with rare scans and things like that. Absolutely incredible add-ons. I absolutely recommend that you do check him out and the things that he does for retail. But he does have a classic add-on, as I mentioned. So this is a classic add-on here. Essentially, what this does is makes the map function similar to retail. As you can see, it's a smaller map in kind of normal Classic. The map takes up the entire screen. It's a nightmare. It's so annoying. So yeah, definitely don't recommend that. But yeah, TomCats add-on just brings in that functionality that you have from retail to be able to minimize the map. Now, he did say that he is adding the quest log here on the right-hand side, and he said basically it's going to function the same as it does in retail right now. So you can have the quest log. He said that he is working on some quest helper stuff as well, porting over the kind of quest information from retail onto there. And of course, he's always working on new and exciting things. One thing he did tease to me is the fact that he's working with Joanna, the legendary guide writer, to have a function to be able to import Joanna's guide into his add-on and give you like a leveling guide through that. So that's something insanely exciting coming to TomCats Tours in the future. So keep an eye out for TomCat on CurseForge for that one. But yeah, as of right now, this is TomCats Tours, and as I said, it will get some improved functionality very, very soon as we go into Burning Crusade Classic launch. The next add-on's DBM. You guys know DBM, Deadly Boss Mods. This is here for Burning Crusade Classic, going to give you all the functionality you have from retail, timers and alerts and everything you need to improve your dungeon and raid game. Yeah, DBM, must I say more, DBM is there for Burning Crusade Classic and is already available on CurseForge for Classic and Burning Crusade. The next add-on is Omni CC. This is a pretty simple add-on. Essentially, all it does is adds countdowns to the tooltip. So when you're attacking something, it'll say how long your dots have left on the NPC. That's not there by default in Burning Crusade, so that's something that you can add through Omni CC. It also has the countdown functionality to the spells. That is actually something they did add default to the game in Burning Crusade Classic and in Classic WoW. But yeah, the countdown on the target frame is actually a super helpful part of this add-on. So yeah, Omni CC is a definite recommend. The next one, again, is a pretty basic one. It's details. It's a damage meter. It's exactly what you need. It's got the exact same functionality as retail. It also has the addition of Tiny Threat, obviously Threat being quite important in Classic WoW and Burning Crusade. So you can add that as a new window. But yeah, essentially has the exact same kind of interface and everything that you'd find on retail. You can even like import your kind of retail settings to make it look exactly the same if you really want to. But yeah, really, really powerful tool and definitely a massive help when trying to improve your game in Burning Crusade and Classic. The next one I found more recently is actually incredible. It's called SpellBook Abridged. Now, what this does is actually makes your spellbook super simple. Now, without this, it looks like this, and you have all the different ranks of all the different spells. Now, obviously, this is for spellcasters. Melee characters will just have it kind of auto happen. So yeah, spellcasters will get different ranks of different spells available to use at any point. Now, what this does is you can just kind of filter it, so just show the highest rank you've got. Also, auto up ranking. So if you use this, essentially, you know, sometimes you forget to change it. You know, you go to the trainer, you learn your new spells, and you forget to change the ability on your bar, and this does that automatically. You can literally just kind of put multi-shot on a rank 1, and the more multi-shots you learn, it'll automatically update your multi-shot on your bars without even having to think about it, which is just a massive help, honestly. I always end up like leveling 5 times, and I'm like, crap, I've been using, you know, Aspect of the Hawk rank 2 at level 60. You know, it's one of those. So this is just a super helpful add-on, very, very lightweight, very nice to use, and super helpful for anyone that just wants a nice, relaxed gameplay experience. Another absolutely titanic add-on, which is absolutely a must-have, is, of course, Questie. Questie being the quest helper add-on, as you can see its functionality here. Essentially, this just adds quest markers to the map and quest objectives to the map, just like in retail. Honestly, without this, I don't know where I would be right now. It is incredibly helpful, and they're coming back for Burning Crusade Classic. The Classic version is obviously already available. Right now, if you do want the Burning Crusade version, it will be on Discord. I can imagine once the pre-patch launches, they'll be uploading that to CurseForge specifically. If you do want it now in the beta or PTR, it is available on their Discord. But yeah, Questie, amazing add-on, as I said. So yeah, look at this. You wouldn't have any of this on the map if it wasn't for Questie. And as I said, I'm doing some questing in Netherstorm right now, and you can see, like, it just tells you what to do. It tells you where to go and tells you what to do. And I think that's just amazing, honestly. That's just fantastic. And obviously has different information on the minimap as well, just like you would in retail. So yeah, Questie, a must-have for sure. Another really helpful add-on is HandyNotes. Now, you probably know HandyNotes from retail. I use 3 different modules for this. I use Flight Masters, Travel Guide, and Dungeon Locations. So it does what it says on the tin, right? So you've got the Flight Masters on the map there, and the boats to different locations. So if you go to Minthil Harbor, for example, it will say this is the boat to Theramore, and this is the boat to Orbaldine. And I think that's really, really helpful. Currently, it is a little bit bugged with the map scaling in Burning Crusade Classic, but this is something that will probably be fixed by the time that launch comes. But yeah, it's super helpful, you know, tells you exactly where those Flight Masters are. The dungeon locations as well, incredibly helpful. So you can see, like, down here, it tells you where, like, Anchorage is, for example, and things like that. So just functionality that you have in retail that you don't really think about that isn't in Classic. So yeah, HandyNotes, a must-have for sure. Another add-on I use is DejaCharacterStats. Now, as you can see here, this is kind of the functionality that you see in retail WoW with the way that it lays out. The character UI in Classic is a little bit bunched up. It's a little bit hard to read. This makes it super, super handy and makes it very much similar to how it is laid out in retail. Now, you can see it's got item levels. Try and ignore that, but it does have, like, you know, item quality in there, like a nice little glow there, which I think is a nice look. And obviously all of the stats that you need down the right here. And you can customize that as much as you like with the settings of the add-on. You can kind of add you know, the default stats if you really want to. This is how it looks like right now. Or you can add item durability, you can add durability bars, loads and loads of different stuff to be able to customize this. But this is the way that I have it laid out. I think it's quite nice. It's super easy to read and just a helpful add-on in general. And it makes it, you know, look like retail, as I said. So, and I think that's a great look. Another add-on I've got recently is threat plates. Now, there is a ton of different nameplate add-ons, but I find this one to be pretty great, honestly. It kind of makes the default nameplates look very, very clean. It's got all of your debuffs and dots and things like that above the nameplate as well, just like you would in retail. But as I said, there are tons of different nameplate add-ons like Plater and things like that. So honestly, this is just my personal preference is threat plates. Changes kind of color the more threat you gain, and that's very important for someone like a hunter who's going to get a lot of threat in their time in raiding. So threat plates are definite must-have in my opinion, but as I said, there is a ton of different nameplate add-ons there that you can kind of use and customize to your liking. The final add-on for me is actually BTWQuest. Now, this is an add-on which is on retail right now, but this is the Burning Crusade version. Now, if you're a completionist like myself, this is a must-have. So as you can see, it has all of the different quest lines for the different zones in Burning Crusade here. So I'm currently testing the Netherstorm questing, as you can see, and I've completed all of that storyline. But you can see kind of where you are on different storylines here. You can click that and it'll pop up the little quest in your quest log, which I think is super great. And yeah, just a must-have, honestly. Like, if you want to go through and say, right, I've completed all of Outland, I've got all of the gold, all of the items, all of the rep, this is an add-on for you. And this will be updated nonetheless with, you know, quests from Eversong Woods, Ghostlands, Azuramis Isle, stuff like that. But this is kind of it right now. This is BTWQuest. And as I said, there is also a version for retail, which I definitely recommend if you are a completionist. Super helpful for sure. So that's the 13 I recommend. Obviously, some honorable mentions that I don't use, but I see a lot of people using, is Weak Auras and LVUI. Those two add-ons from retail, those extremely powerful add-ons from retail, are available for Classic and Burning Crusade Classic. So if you do use LVUI, you can actually create kind of your UI to make it look like it does in retail. I know that's something that people love to do, and I think that would definitely help you if you are a user of that add-on. And obviously, Weak Auras, need I say more, right? A ton of support there. Just an absolutely incredible add-on with so much functionality. I don't really use it personally, as I said, but I do know people that do use it extensively. And if that is something you're into, Weak Auras is available on CurseForge, and of course LVUI is available where you get LVUI. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. A little bit of a longer video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope these add-ons are helpful for you. Do let me know down below if you have any suggestions for add-ons that you think just make your Classic life so much easier. I would love to see some more suggestions. And let me know if you found out any add-ons today that are going to be helpful for you in the future. I'd love to know what you guys think. So yeah, before I go, guys, I'd like to give a massive shout out to our amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome, and if you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. I've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members, and as I said, I am now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming the Shadowlands, if you want to see me streaming the Burning Crusade Classic Beta and Burning Crusade launch coming up real soon, or the 9.1 PTR, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.